Plus, hear all of your favorite agriculture farm shows, including RFD Illinois, AgriTalk, RFD Today, and the Closing Market Report.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
It's agriculture grown locally, streamed live, and archived to hear anytime.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
A service of the Miller Media Group.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guests in studio today are the Noahs from the Department of Natural Resources. Noah Workman, Conservation Police. Is it captain yet, Noah?
Yeah, no,
just
close. I don't know any part of that. No,
just DNR officer Noah Workman. How are you, Noah? Good to see you.
Good,
Man.
Seth. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for being with us. And you've got another Noah in here with us today. Tell me about Noah Riedle a little bit.
Noah Riedle got hired with our last class. He is on his second phase of FTO. Completed his first one with Officer Longley over in Pike County, and then he came over to me phase 2 probably about 2 weeks ago, Noah?
Yep, just about 2 weeks ago.
We're on like day 8, so he's getting to lay the land of DeWitt County. He'll be with us till about mid-June, and then he goes off to the DNR Academy for 16 weeks. I think like June 22nd or June 21st.
Okay, sure. So, Noah, thanks for making time for us. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're from Central Illinois. Give us kind of your background a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm from Mount Pulaski, Illinois. Grew up in Mount Pulaski my entire life. Went to Mount Pulaski High School, graduated there in 2019. Always knew I wanted to have a job with these guys. It's the best law enforcement agency in the entire state. So with that being said, I ended up going to Lincoln Land in Springfield for 2 years. Wrapped up my associate's degree there in criminal justice. Then went over to Western in the fall of 2021, where I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice from there as well.
Okay.
From there, I ended up working with my hometown department in Mount Pulaski for about a year. And these guys decided to hire, so I put my application in, and here I am. So,
nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect timing. Yeah. Now, is it as difficult as it once was to get into the Department of Natural Resources? I mean, I know that was a long wait, and it was rigorous to get in. Is it still that way?
You know, I've heard different stories, especially from your time, Noah, when you applied with the thousands of people that would be putting in applications. I think it's still very competitive with it being a state agency and also a very specific agency with the job that it is, being a game warden or conservation police. I don't know how many people put in for this hiring process, but I can tell you it was a tedious hiring. From the time that I put in to the time that I got a job application, it was about 6 months. So
Gotcha.
It's a long process.
What do you know about what is next for you in terms of the training and the training you've been through? First of all, what's that been like, and what do you know about what's next for you?
Yep. So I've knocked out 1 of 4 phases of field training with the conservation police. As Noah was talking about a little bit earlier, I worked with CPO Longley for maybe about a month. I started field training in March. And I'm with CPO Workman now, working in DeWitt County. So I'll pretty much be with him, knocking out phase 2 of field training up until I go to the academy in June, which is the DNR Academy. So that's another 16 weeks on top of the entire training that a CPO has to have. So a little bit of background about a CPO is you have to have 7 months of academy training for Illinois training standards right now. Thankfully, I've knocked out the basic academy already, so I just get to go to the DNR Academy in June before going through another 2 phases field training and then going up to my county of assignment. So,
do you know that yet?
It is going to be Lake County.
Lake County, yeah, cool. So, what are you looking forward to about being with DNR? You know, a game warden per se. What are you looking forward to about this job?
I can tell you that I'm someone who's very passionate about hunting, fishing, wildlife. I was very passionate about the regular police job, with servicing specifically my own community in Mount Pulaski. Being able to grow up in there and give back and serve my own community was amazing. So I take everything that I like about the regular side of policing and then add it with my passion for hunting, fishing, wildlife, and it makes it the best job in the world for me.
Yeah, sure.
It's sincerely the best job in the world.
What have you learned so far being in Pike County, DeWitt County? I mean, obviously that's not much different than Logan County. What have you learned about being on the job so far?
Well, so far we've done a little bit of boating, a little bit of turkey season. We're in the 3rd season, turkey season right now. Mostly boats, turkey. We've done fish, being around Clinton Lake quite a bit. Other than that, it's been mostly just, just turkey fish and and boating so far.
What has surprised you about being on the job with DNR? I mean, obviously you mentioned this is something you've always wanted. Is there anything that has come your way where you're like, whoa, didn't expect that type of thing?
I think learning about the inspection authority. So as a regular police officer, you're allowed, you're kind of limited to your searches, right? So you're allowed for vehicle stops, you need certain probable cause to enter a vehicle. With inspection authority with the conservation police, when it comes to inspecting coolers, backpacks with fishermen, you don't need that same probable cause because you have an inspection authority. So it's been pretty interesting to learn that part of the job and implement that as someone who was already a prior law enforcement. So,
yeah, awesome. Good deal. So you'll head up north after your time in Lake County. Do you want to come back to Central Illinois? What do you have plans after that, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd either like to make it back to District 19, which is this district, somewhere in DeWitt County or this area, or back to Logan County where I'm from, which is District 10.
Yeah.
So,
and remind me, how long do you have to spend up in Lake County?
It just depends. It depends on when, we can hire another class and more trainees can float up that way and replace our spots as we try to transfer back down lower into the state. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Awesome. Very good. Noah, anything you wanted Noah to talk about that we didn't touch on today?
No, Noah's been a great addition to our agency. He's comes with a year of experience in Mount Pulaski, but with that, he's got a lot of knowledge. He's been very smart. He's been very good to work with. Yeah, we're just kind of touching up on how the game warden aspect of it works. He's kind of got the law enforcement reps down, but now it's just how to tie it into wildlife, fish, and it's just a different beast.
Yep, very good. Well, no, good job, man. Appreciate you doing that with us, and chime in as we, absolutely chime in as we talk here for this morning. Noah Workman, let's talk Clinton Lake. What's going on in the lake right now?
Clinton Lake is starting to hop. The weather's starting to break. We're starting to see more boat trailers out there. Starting to see more fishermen. Kind of want to put out west side. Our boat ramp on west side is closed. It's going to be closed for the summer. Undetermined amount of time. They're doing construction and rebuilding it, putting new docks, stuff like that. So they've got it all blocked off. It's very well. 5 barricades, signs, chains. Everything indicates that area of the west side is closed. The pavilion's still open. There's a playground over there that's still accessible to the public, but the ramp itself will not be available for the duration of the summer. Probably into mid-fall, could be early winter. So it's when it opens. They're hoping to have it done by the fall.
Do you know exactly what they're doing there?
Putting in new docks, and I don't know if they're doing construction to the actual ramp itself or not, but I know docks. That dock gets beat by the wind on a yearly basis, and I want to say that dock floated down the spillway and last year. So it's been without a dock for a little bit of time, and they finally got the approval and everything, and they're getting a new one.
Yeah, and that's through the state of Illinois, right?
Correct.
Not
That's
through
through
DeWitt
DNR.
County. Yeah, gotcha. Very good. So that'll be probably a nice addition once it's done. But asking folks to kind of respect that work going on there. So is there a lot of construction, like crews and equipment out there right now? Or?
So there's one. I've only been out there once to go see it myself. Like I said, they've got barricades, and I think during the day, so that they can bring their equipment in and out easily, they're separating that barricade on the road and dropping the chain. And that's where I think they've complained to me that they've had the public has come in and tried to use the ramp or come in for whatever reason. Okay. And he said, I don't know how else to indicate that it's closed, but it is going to be closed.
Gotcha. So keep that in mind. What else is going on at the lake right now? You mentioned guys are probably out getting some fishing in, Saturday, Sunday, really nice days to be outside. What are we fishing for right now?
Right now, the striper hybrids, we're really biting down the spillway. So that's what we've noticed. A lot of guys catching a lot of fish down there. It's going to be good for a couple weeks till that water temperature increases a little bit.
Right. How are lake levels right now?
I'm not too sure. I want to say probably pretty good with the amount of rain we've had in the last month.
Yeah, definitely.
I've not had a boat on to see the water level. Usually I tell by the bridges. And I haven't had a chance to get a boat on and go check them out. Okay, gotcha. So what's occupied your time then lately? So we've been focusing on turkey season. We had early mornings for the last couple weeks, chasing turkey hunters around DeWitt County, McLean County, and we're getting into the boats at this point. Now that the weather's broke, we're seeing 80-degree weather. We're going to start getting the boats out, running them. A lot of fishermen going out on the lake. There've been a lot of bass fishing tournaments I've noticed. So we've sat down at ramps, done boat safety inspections.
Did you do the big rowing tournament at the lake last?
We didn't. I was off during that weekend.
You caught a break. It sounds like.
Did. But U of I had their row team out and had their competition, and that's really cool to go see. I've had an opportunity to see them, and it's really cool to go see in person. If you ever catch wind that they're doing it again, go out there and view them. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. So with the let's talk turkey hunting, because right now there's kind of an overlap of turkey and mushroom hunting seasons, right?
We are. So right now the mushroom hunters are starting to come out. We've seen a couple people utilizing the state property to hunt mushrooms before 1 p.m. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about with you today to get out to people, is that the mushroom hunting is closed out at Clinton Lake area until 1 p.m. And that's just so that the turkey hunters who have that turkey tag specific for Clinton Lake have an opportunity to hunt in peace and risk not. I mean, it's dangerous. Those guys are out there with loaded shotguns, shoot turkeys. I don't want somebody to accidentally get trigger happy, and because somebody wants to go pick a morel mushroom, accidentally take shot. So,
yeah. Is turkey hunting pretty popular on the lake, or at the lake, I guess?
Yeah, I want to say they filled, I don't remember that Excel sheet, maybe 20, 25 tags that were issued this year between the 5 seasons. They've got a lot of land granted to them for them to go out and hunt. So yeah, I've seen a lot of trucks in hunter parking lots, and been checking harvest reports. Guys have been getting birds.
Yeah. How big are turkeys on or at Clinton Lake?
They're about the same size they are everywhere out in the state.
Okay. Nothing special about them here.
Nothing special about them here. No.
Got it. Very good. So now, so it's turkey hunting first, then mushroom hunting.
Correct.
I thought it was the inverse. I thought it was mushroom and then you could turkey hunt.
No, turkey hunting closes at 1 p.m. anyway.
Okay.
So once turkey hunting closes, boom, the mushroom hunters can go out. And it's funny, you go to some of these popular mushroom spots, and about 12:45, there's just guys sitting on tailgates waiting for that 1 p.m. and
1 o'clock hits and they're there.
1 o'clock hits, boom, it's their time. They're going out looking for mushrooms. So
Gotcha. It's like your favorite restaurant opens up at 1 o'clock and you're ready to roll. Yeah. So do you get many issues with guys jumping out early, or overlap of those 2 seasons? You get any issues there?
We do. I've been in DeWitt County now for 4 years. In the last 4 years, this is about the time I'll start getting calls from the turkey hunters saying, hey, I was turkey hunting. Guy was on the, looking for, I got mushroom hunters in here. And I'll go to address it if I can get there quick enough. And I mean, it's a $195 ticket. I don't know of a mushroom that's worth $195, but to some people it might be, but to me it's not. So
yeah, sure. Gotcha. Very good. When does kind of mushroom hunting wrap up then?
It's when the ground temperature gets to us. I don't know the certain degrees it gets to.
Okay.
There's a beautiful spot with how morels grow, and where like the ground temperature's got to get to a certain degree for it. So we'll start growing that mushroom, and then it'll dry off as the season goes on. I'm gonna say about 2 or 3 weeks, rough estimate.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. So, and do they regrow then? Like you pick them, do they regrow?
I'll be honest, I don't know too much about them.
Oh, okay.
I don't like them. I've tried them.
Yeah,
I picked a couple last year. Went home, tried frying them, and it just wasn't my taste. So I don't know too much about them.
Officer Riedle, is this an area you can chime in on?
I don't know if they regrow or not.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not a big mushroom guy either. All right.
I know they grow in the same spots year after year.
Yeah, sure.
Guys that have their spots, and they'll go out year after year and go pick mushrooms in the same spot.
Well, there you go. So that the in season is mushroom hunting. It sounds like, gentlemen. I'll tell you what. Let's break here. Come back with some more. Noah Workman, Noah Riedle, Department of Natural Resources, our guests in studio. More to come with them on the morning show.
WHOW.
Now you can listen to WHOW on any Amazon Alexa-enabled device. There are 3 easy steps. Step 1.
Download the free Alexa app by going to the App Store on your mobile device.
Step 2. Enable our skill by going to the menu, select Skills, then find WHOW, open the skill.
Step 3. Activate the skill by saying, Alexa, play WHOW radio.
That's all there is to it.
And to stop the WHOW stream, just say, Alexa, stop.
WHOW, now on the Amazon Alexa app.
Hi, Ryan.
We're here for the wedding.
The wedding was a month ago. You were supposed to be my best man.
Told you he'd be upset.
Sorry. See, we were headed to the church when we heard a radio spot for a furniture store.
We really needed new end tables.
And while we were paying for those end tables...
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. Jen heard a radio commercial for a 3-day spa package at a big fancy hotel.
Oh, Ryan, it was so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we're lounging by the pool.
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. I'm listening to a podcast on my phone.
When he hears an ad about a direct flight
to a resort in the Galapagos Islands.
What?
Again, Ryan? So beautiful.
So beautiful. Anyway, we're just getting ready to fly home, and what do we hear?
Let me guess. A radio commercial.
For a car dealership.
Tell him what we did.
Here's what we did. We bought a car and decided to drive home.
You can't drive home from the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, did we feel foolish when we found that out?
I really thought it would float.
Radio goes where we go. A message from the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station. They brought you this message.
Find out how you and your family can save up to 40% on the meat, produce, and grocery items you use every day by clicking the Clinton Save-A-Lot icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton, Farmer City, and Maroa. Find out how Pekin Insurance can give you peace of mind by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, Noah Workman, Noah Riedle with the Department of Natural Resources, our guest in studio for today. Officer Workman, of course, we are starting in on the heavy boating season. Weather's starting to turn. We've got Memorial Day, another 4 or 5 weeks away. We're right there. How about just boating and keeping ourselves safe on the water?
Yeah, so that's what I was glad you asked that. We're getting into that nice weather. We're going to start seeing a lot more recreational boats out. We're already seeing a lot more fishing boats out. I like to talk boat safety. Working out at Clinton Lake now for about the last 4 years. I've seen some interesting situations, some unfortunate situations I've had to be a part of. Things that I like to focus on is the safety aspect and why we do what we do when we stop boats as far as doing our safety inspections. And we're looking for that life jacket that fits and is operable for everybody on board. So as many people as you have on board, you need to have that appropriate number of life jackets. If you've got kids on board, you got to have kid life jackets. You can't have that 300-pound grown man life jacket and tell me it's for your 4-year-old, because it doesn't work that way. A type 4 throwable, and then your fire extinguisher's got to be in good working condition. Keep your kill switch on, which is on your wrist, attached to kill your engine in case you were to get ejected from your boat. Have that when you're underway. Your batteries, your terminals covered to keep from sparks, and having that battery secured down to the boat.
Are you doing inspection on these things?
Yeah. So a lot of times we'll go out, and when we're on a boat patrol, we'll stop boats and just go through a simple boat safety inspection. We'll go through the like I just kind of walked through all the safety equipment needed for the boat. Check a number of occupants on board, making sure that your boat's not overcapacitated, or over the weight limit. If there appears to be a larger group of people and you're still under that number of capacity, your weight still might not be there.
Okay.
So overloading boats.
Is every boat, like in terms of the size, is it pretty much the same in terms of how many people you can have on it or weight you can have on it?
There's a placard usually next to the helm, next to where the captain of the boat will sit.
Okay.
And it'll tell them the number of persons or the weight capacity of the boat. So it's one or the other, not both. So you might have a boat that can hold 12, but if you've got 10 larger people on board, you're probably going to exceed that weight limit.
Yeah. So if a boat doesn't have that, what do you do in that circumstance?
That's where that would be the owner, the responsibility of the owner to get that, because every boat will have that placard on.
Right.
It comes with it on there, but if it got worn off or tore off or whatever, that would be the responsibility of the boat owner to know that prior to going out. And if I were going to stop that boat and I suspected it would be overcapacitated, I would say, okay, you got a 95 master craft. I'll just use Google like anybody else would and be like, what's the capacity plate say for that boat?
Gotcha. Well, let's talk drinking and boating a little bit, Noah. What are the regulations? Because I know it's a little different than obviously drinking and driving. So what's going on?
You can have a drink while you drive a boat. There's nothing illegal about it. Guys can operate a boat while having an adult beverage containing alcohol. You can't be over that point of weight. You can't be impaired. It's just like on the road. once impairment's detected, we'll ask you to sit through a sitting. It's kind of like the field sobriety on the road, but it's different because you're sitting on a boat, and we'll go through that to kind of get a gauge of what your impairment level is. And
is it like being in a car where you can get a ticket for that, arrested, all those things?
Yeah, you're going to be arrested more times than not. You are arrested and released on scene, and you have a mandatory court. It's called operating under the influence. So you will receive an OUI from the arresting officer and give you a mandatory court. And from there, you'll go through the court systems on that.
Yep. How much has the legalization of marijuana changed how you patrol?
It's changed. I got hired when marijuana was still illegal, and then obviously watched it become medicinal use, and then now you're just full rec use. You still can't use it in public places, so you can't go to Clinton Lake or Weldon Springs and use it.
Okay, so
you can have it on you. It's not unlawful to possess. It's just unlawful to use in a public place.
Okay,
I'm seeing it a lot more on boats. You can smell it. I mean, it's got a very noticeable odor. I'm smelling it on boats.
Does that create issues for you at all?
No, I treat it like alcohol. It's the same as alcohol. If you're out on a boat and you're not operating the boat, you can be as drunk as you want. You want to be as stoned as you want, be as stoned as you want. As long as the person operating the boat is not impaired, because that's the person that's in charge of the boat.
Right.
They're in charge of the safety of the boat. So no, I've noticed it a lot more over the last 5 years. I think it's been legal. I've seen a lot of it, but no, it's treated just like alcohol anymore.
Well, gentlemen, I wish I could talk more with you. Noah, we'll get you back in closer to Memorial Day and talk some of that, because that's really the kickoff of the boating season. Just quickly, did I miss anything you wanted to put out there today?
I don't think so. Noah?
No?
I don't believe so.
Awesome. Well, Noah, we'll look forward to seeing you down the road. Noah, we'll see you down the road.
Appreciate it, Seth.
Appreciate you guys. Very good. Noah Workman, Noah Riedle with the Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police, our guests in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Stay with us. Network news comes your way next on WHOW. Of course, we stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Again, network news comes up now.
WHOW.